have a little look at now is your overall alignment, just to get an idea of maybe where you're holding in a bit of tension or tightness. I'll just talk the guys through what I'm looking at. So what I want you to do is, if we get you standing that way, so I'm just going to open the gown up at the back there, if that's okay.
Yes.
Okay, so what we want to have a look at is alignment. So this is Mr. Skeleton here, or Miss Skeleton. These areas here, so we would call these our hips. They're our iliac crest, but that's a bit of a mouthful. So what we want to look at is the alignment. So ideally, because obviously this is looking from the back, you would want, I'm trying to use the camera, I'm going to talk to you as well, you would want 50-50 weight distribution going down through left and right leg. Make sense?
Yeah, that's balanced. Yeah.
So that's nice and balanced. That will mean that the pressure going down through your knees, to your ankles, through the musculature down through your leg will be nice and balanced. If your pelvis is a little out of skew, it means then that you're potentially going to put more pressure on one side than the other. Maybe you're going to be putting uneven pressure onto the knee, uneven pressure down to the ankles, and then you get things like plantar fasciitis, Achilles, calf muscle, adductor, quad, glute, different issues, ITB band issues. So that could all be a manifestation of an issue through the pelvis.
Which is why I always say you're only as old as your hips as
As an
analogy. Like it's only as, you know, as if the hips are out, everything can literally be.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll have a good look. So we want to have a look at the alignment of the pelvis there. As you say, the hips just sit more at the front, but again, the alignment of the hips is very important. And when it comes to women, sometimes our core strength can be an area that is neglected. And as you mentioned earlier, our relationship sometimes with our bodies has an impact. So if we're a bit negative or if we're a bit self-conscious around this area, it will naturally switch the core off. You know, we kind of almost get a little bit disconnected. So it's really good to get kind of positive and connected in with your core, because it's really that strength of your core that helps maintain a good healthy back and spine, and can really help your posture, which has a good impact onto your pelvis. So we'll have a look at you. So if you just stand so as you're facing that way, good. So what we're looking at is basically the alignment of those iliac crests that we mentioned, and then what I will ask Lisa to do is if you can march on the squat there for me, Lisa, just bring those knees up. So we're looking for kind of equal movement left and right, seeing what the movement is like, and there's a wee bit of restriction there, so we could be moving a little bit better just onto this left sacroiliac joint here, so just onto the left side of the pelvis is a little bit restricted. Okay. What we're also looking at is the pelvis pointing forwards, or is there any kind of rotation going through? Because what we will always do is prioritize our vision, so we always keep our head pointing forwards in a good alignment so that we can see we're level with the horizon. So if we tilt, for instance, kind of if we're turning this way, then we're going to turn this way, and then we're going to turn this way. So we get kind of
bent out of shape.
Bent out of shape, basically, yeah. We get the compensation patterns going on. So the alignment here is really important. This is like our foundation stone, and then everything else gets kind of built up on top of that. So we can then look how level somebody's shoulders are, and again, generally any imbalance to the pelvis will reflect itself higher up into the shoulders as well. That's why we always kind of look at the pelvis alignment. Even if somebody's coming and saying my right shoulder is really, really sore, we're always going to check out the whole kind of alignment, because it's all going to have an impact. So if we turn you side on so that you're facing that mirror, good.
Lots of mirrors, ladies. But it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay. So what we're going to notice is, obviously when Lisa was looking that way, I generally get people then to look side on and get that view of themselves, because we often see ourselves in the mirror front on, and we see photographs of ourselves front on, and the side view can be a little bit of a shocker. It's the one that people don't particularly like. And particularly when they kind of realise that maybe they're forwards, they're getting maybe little bumps, little humps growing at the back there, which is the body just compensating for the weight of the head shifting forwards. Okay. Text neck, absolutely, yeah. But yeah, it's just laptops and tablets and all the things that, you know, we spend a lot of time looking down at, puts an awful lot of strain onto the neck. So if the head there is in pretty good alignment, if you shift your head further forwards as you did, the spine is no longer sitting underneath the weight of the head, so the muscles down the back have to work an awful lot harder.
Like stoop a little.
Yeah, and then you get this bump emerging, and then these muscles through the shoulders get really, really tight, very tight, and that pulls up into the back of the neck, and can create kind of little headaches and tension.
I used to get a lot before I actually was sitting all the time. I got really bad headaches from just
tightness through there. Yeah, it pulls through. So yeah, we're looking at your alignment there. You're fairly good, as we know. Yes, you could be a little bit slightly better alignment, but I know that you're conscious of that and working on that. So that's what we would be looking at, is basically seeing what somebody's body or weight position is in, and you want to be as centered and aligned as possible, so that you're basically as efficient as possible at rest, so you're not activating any muscles unnecessarily, which tends to happen. If we slouch forwards, then those muscles are activating. If we slouch forwards here, again, muscles are having to activate, and they'll be a little bit fatigued and a little bit tight, and then we go and do maybe a class, and that's when we then
that's when
irritate.
You can injure,
That's
you
when
can
we
injure yourself because you're so tight.
Yeah, you're already tight just from day-to-day activities, and then we just add a little bit extra in, and that's why so many people kind of will say, oh, it was whenever I wasn't really doing that much, and it can be something quite small can trigger off the tension patterns that we have there. So that's what we tend to do when we start off, is just alignment, posture, looking where somebody's holding tension or tightness, seeing how somebody's pelvis is moving, and then we would then ask them to lie down on the bed. So we're just going to just do that, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.